Folks, it is week 16. We've covered all the DFS stuff. We've done playoff best ball. We've done BRs. It is time to make some extra Christmas cash. We're going to be making a bunch of picks against the spread with Rich Hribar. We're going to be using the Unabated tools for a bunch of Pick Ems over on Underdog Fantasy. No thank you to Michael Pittman Jr. for ruining the Hateful 8 last week. But let's go ahead and do it. It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer. All right, Reebs. Merry Christmas. We are 5 days away from Christmas here in the Western Hemisphere. It's pretty gosh darn cold outside. No snow. I mean, it snowed once in November here, but no snow on the ground. Mostly just cold. But,
do you guys get a lot of snow still, or like
it really depends. Some winters it will just be nuts. It'll just be crazy. There's snow on the ground the whole time, but no, we don't get a ton. I assume like Ohio gets a good bunch because they have a bunch of lakes.
We haven't the last couple years. Yeah, we are right on the lake, like where I live, but the last couple winters have been pretty mild. Like it gets still real cold, but as far as like actual snow, we haven't gotten a ton at all. I moved into my house that I'm at now 2 years ago, and I've only shoveled the driveway once.
Wow. Yeah, I've had to shovel. I think probably twice I've had to shovel our driveway. Not great, but dude, last week in terms of the games, not that great. I mean, I feel like there are some pretty strong games this week, like some games that I'm going to be pretty actively locked into. I mean, one of them obviously on Saturday night. Huge consequences Saturday night. And actually, we got the nut run out last night. If you want the Bengals to keep trying to score fantasy points, you really wanted the Chargers to win that game, because now if the Broncos lose out and the Bengals win out, including beating the Broncos next week, buddy, the Bengals can make the playoffs. They can backdoor it, which is really phenomenal.
Yeah, it could be kind of fun. Saturday too, tomorrow is like a gambler's paradise. I mean, we got those college games. I mean, unreal. Oh my God, we've got college games, we got NFL games. It's just gonna be from 1 p.m. till midnight, man. We're gonna be betting on stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I hope I don't really have to leave the house all that much tomorrow. I hope I don't have a honey-do list. I hope there's not actually, you know what? I already know that I have family shit that I just don't even know why I started thinking about this. I know.
I mean, next week, dude. So like when the NFL released the schedule for this season, I remember looking at week 17 and just being like, ooh, I got to put that out of my mind for 3 months, but we're knocking on the door and it's going to be here next week, where we have games, starting tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like we're in the weeds. And Christmas, all around all the stuff.
Yeah, and you just know the Christmas Day games on Netflix, something is going to go wrong with those games. I mean, you can set your clock by it, but this is our job, man. We are here.
We can't complain about it.
I certainly am not complaining. I've had a real blast doing content and stuff on my own. It's been pretty cool.
Love to see it.
Yeah, it's been great. So I have no complaints. Reebs, let's do it, man. Let's pick our 5 favorite games against the spread this week. We were on the opposite side of one. I already forgot what it was, but we were on the opposite side of one last week. I
think you got it. What was it? Man, I can't remember what it was.
My brain just.
Oh, it was Bills Lions. It was Bills Lions.
Lions.
Bills Lions. Yeah, cooked, dude. But great play, great game for Joe Brady, man. Absolutely put Aaron Glenn in a blender. Those all those linebacker injuries, they absolutely.
I mean, the Lions have 22 players on IR. The only other team with more than 15 players on IR is the Cleveland Browns. The Bills have 3 players, the fewest in the NFL. 3 players on IR or the PUP.
It was the most yards in a game thrown to running backs and tight ends in a game this season. Like they absolutely just blasted those guys in that area of the field. It's like, Aaron Glenn, you want to play man coverage and blitz us all the time? Or we're just going to put all your absence of linebackers in a blender the entire game. Ty Johnson, we're going to dust off Ty Johnson for 114 receiving yards.
Why not? Why not? All right, Reebs. Give me your fifth favorite game against the spread this week.
Yeah, listen, I'm making up my own rules. It's week 16. I'm going to give you 6 games because I'm going to give you a Saturday 2-game teaser.
Let's go.
I'm going to give you a Saturday 2-game teaser. We're going to take the Baltimore Ravens down to -2.5, and we're going to take the Houston Texans up to +7.5. We're going to give you a Saturday 2-game teaser.
Has Kansas City beat a single team by 7 or more this year?
Last week they won by 14, right? It was 21-7, and it took a bunch of Jameis turnovers and well, Mahomes left in the third quarter. To be fair, they were playing moderately well in context of the 2024 Chiefs offense up until the Mahomes injury.
Yeah, Worthy, I suppose, looked a bit functional.
He's been okay. Like the last 5 or 6 weeks, he's been okay. He leaves a play. He leaves a play per game.
One play a game. One play a game. Yeah, he absolutely leaves it on field.
Are you concerned at all about how Travis Kelce's looked this past month?
Of course, I'm concerned about it. Yeah, I'm concerned that what happened last season, where he turned it on in the postseason. I mean, he was basically the best pass catcher in the postseason at large. I don't think he can do that anymore. I think at best, the thing he can do, and I mean, they would really like to not have to play a Week 18 game. They would, for whatever they would love to not have that. If Kelce didn't have to play Week 18, so they get the 1 seed. They don't have to play Week 18, and they don't have to play the wild card round, and Kelce just gets to sit for 18 days. That is what if they are hoping internally to do the same thing they did last postseason, this postseason with him, they absolutely need the 1 seed. If they have to play the wild card this year, it's got to be Worthy and Hopkins and Hollywood. That's the only way, because he can turn it on for moments. I mean, I've said this on like every show, but he's top 5 in open score, but bottom 5 in yak score. Like he just generates no yards after catch anyway. He still get open, but he can't do anything once he gets the ball. If I was just taking those games straight, I like your teaser. If I was just taking those games straight on Saturday, I would do Chiefs, and I actually would do the Steelers. You're not gonna
6.5. Yeah, I mean 6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
That's why I said I do like this angle too, because like I said, if the Chiefs win this game, the odds that they kind of win this game by more than a touchdown are thinner. Both that game should be relatively kind of gross too. Not just because that's where the Chiefs live this year. They're the Bane offense, like with Born in the Darkness. But they are getting Hollywood back for a smattering of snaps. They got Pacheco back a couple weeks ago. Like there's still like optimism, like the Chiefs can find their way here. But since week 7, the Texans averaging 4.7 yards per play. It's ahead of just the Giants and Bears. The Chiefs are just 1 spot ahead of them. Also, the Houston defense pretty good too. They have one of the better pass defenses in the NFL. A really good pass rush, which is probably going to be a problem for the Chiefs. It looks like Joe Thuney's going to play left tackle again this week. So I mean, they've had a lot of issues, slowing down pass rush of late. Mahomes already been sacked on a career high 35 times. Also, Mahomes, and we saw this be a problem last week, who obviously the injury, he's been hit 7.3 dropbacks per game this season, by far a career high.
Okay, I did want to talk about this, and it doesn't always have to be Chiefs corner, but he invites it now. He's
been that style quarterback for a while.
I mean, his superpower has long been the ability to evade sacks, and that superpower is not turned on this year.
And now he's got an ankle. Now he's got a high ankle injury that we knew he was going to play through anyways. Everyone acting like he was going to sit. I was like, oh man, like we've seen this story. This guy played with he tried to come back into that Broncos game and his kneecap was off. Like he's definitely play.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, I would run through a brick wall for that man. I'm not meaning to criticize him, but all right, there we go. That Reebs, that was special. That was a special Saturday 2-team teas.
Yeah.
We've got the
and
we've
just
got
on the other side of it too, just to give real quick analysis on the Pittsburgh side, it's the same reason I faded them last week, is that without George Pickens, this is just an unserious operation. They are dead last in the NFL in success rate on passing plays with George Pickens off the field now this season. They go up to 17th, just middle of the pack, which that's fine, right? Like, you're not the worst, and that makes a significant difference. So Baltimore, obviously, Pittsburgh's been kind of like Lamar's kryptonite, but they're just such a better
not
roster.
even kind of. They have been his kryptonite. I believe someone
He's
posted this
1-4
in Peter's Discord. The last time the Steelers lost at home to the Ravens, Duck Hodges was the quarterback. So,
I mean, to be fair, Lamar has a really weird history with the Steelers and not really playing against them because of week 18 rests games, and then also where his injuries lined up. He's only faced the Steelers 5 times in his career, which just seems wild, because like Mahomes and Josh Allen have played each other, I think, 9 times over that span, and they're not even in the same division.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's just weird how it's worked out. But like I said, I'm not comfortable laying the 6.5 at Baltimore. That's why I am comfortable with the 2.5 though. I do like the field goal dub.
Sure. Yeah, that works for me. All right, Reebs, there you go. There's a nice little way to begin. If you are watching this on Saturday after the games have started, this is where the show begins for you. Give me your number 5, your 5th favorite game against the spread.
Oh, I would just combine those as the 5.
Okay.
So 5 and 6. Like,
okay.
I don't know.
All right. Then we
like
can go. We can go my 5. It's a bit. It's
Do
a
I make
bit
up another one?
Yeah, you could. I'll do my 5, which is the Los Angeles Rams -3 points at the New York Football Jets. This one is twofold. The first one being, I don't think that like a scrappy come from behind victory against the Mac Jones Jaguars like means the Jets are back. I don't think that they're a good football team. I think their defense is bad. I think the Rams are, now that the Rams are healthy, like now that they have their full offensive line, they're just like a much more cogent team. And they nailed, I mean, how lucky are they that they nailed these draft picks, because they don't have very many draft picks. So the draft picks are very important for them. And they have Verse and what's the other guy's name? Verse on the defensive lineman. Yeah. So those guys are, I believe Verse leads the National Football League in percentage of quarterback rushes that generate a pressure, which is like pretty unbelievable to get in the draft for the Rams. This is to me, basically, this is saying that the Rams would be favored on neutral by 5.5, 6 points effectively. I mean, come on, the Meadowlands, like how Jazz. I just this one feels like classic. The Ram, like they barely even show this game on Red Zone because the Rams are up 14 points the whole way. Like, I think the Jets are mostly the shitty team we've seen be shitty all year, and not the relatively resurgent Rams that we've seen each of the last 2 weeks. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm interested in this game a little bit for DFS, just because the same reasons the Jets have been playing higher scoring games, especially the past month. I mean, they have the worst defense in EPA since they fired Robert Saleh.
Yep,
in the NFL. Mac Jones got there against them last week. So I do like the angle, because I do think Aaron Rodgers doubles are in play again this week because of the matchup against the Rams and kind of where they've been vulnerable and allowed their production. So kind of a fun game for DFS. I'm just done with the Jets for a little bit. I feel like we escaped last week against the Jaguars, and I'm just gonna leave them alone this week.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think that's I think that's reasonable to say that. But all right, there we go. That's my number 5. And also, I'm big on, kind of always been a Stafford guy, just kind of always been higher on Stafford than the market. So just 3 points against a team that, as you mentioned, literally dead last in EPA. And the Rams can run too. I mean, they're more than happy. Kyron got 2 weeks ago, he got 29 rushes. They are more than and they're
31 touches.
They're 10 days rest. They're 10 days rest here as well.
McVay also a pretty good East Coast coach. They've got a pretty good track record for early kicks traveling too. He's been one of the better guys.
There you go. All right, Reeves, what's your number 4?
My 4 is the Buccaneers. Just again, the team that's obviously, I don't really factor in like so much of like this team's playing for something versus a team that's not. It's really that when you've seen Tampa Bay again on the road this season, they're 5-2 against the spread on the road. Dallas is 1-6 against the spread at home this season. They're 31st in points allowed per game at home. The Buccaneers, we've seen these past 5 games against kind of vagabond type quarterbacks, largely outside of Justin Herbert. They are 3rd in the NFL in points allowed per drive. Cooper Rush falls into the bucket of quarterbacks that they've done a really good job limiting over the stretch of Tommy DeVito, Bryce Young, Aiden O'Connell, those types of guys. But then they also did shut down Justin Herbert while banged up on the road last week. Herbert looked awesome in the second half of that game last night, by the way. That throw he made to Darius Davis was absolutely insane.
Dude, I fell asleep at halftime. I was like, all right.
Warranted.
I was like, all right, I saw the free kick. That's like the play of the year. Love that. And now we could just do that. That's it. That's all we need. The good road win by Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. And I woke up and I like literally did not believe the score. I just basically did not believe. I was like, that can't possibly have been what happened.
Look at the list of guys that scored touchdowns that game last night too. Oh,
Haskins, Estime.
Gus got in there twice. I feel so terrible. I had to start Gus in this 14-team league. This team has no business still being in the playoffs. It literally just has Lamar and Saquon, and it's the only reason it's still playing. But I had to start Gus Edwards last night, and I don't even feel good about him having that game. Like, I'm grateful he did, but it just feels so dirty. Just feels wrong. He had the longest run that he had in 5 years. His longest run. So circling back here, though, I worry about the Cowboys being able to generate points offensively here because of the Rico Dowdle factor. So they've been actually competent offensively because they've been able to run the football over the past month. But then you start to go under the hood and you look at like who they've run the football against over this month stretch: the Commanders, the Giants, the Bengals, and the Panthers. Like all teams that we targeted going in as like with anyone. It didn't matter. Davis, you'd get maybe 1.5 yards a carry against those teams. Like you get positive yards though. Now they're facing a Buccaneers team that probably is going to game script them out of the run a little bit. And if they have to be forced in a Cooper Rush drop back game, we've seen how that looked against teams like Philadelphia and Houston, right? Like, so I worry about that angle. Baker's playing really good football since the bye. Now that they got Mike Evans back, Mike Evans coming for that 1,000-yard season. He's back on track. So I like the Bucs here. I don't love this number. I wish it was a better number, but that's why I have it this low.
I actually had this as my 3. The Buccaneers have solved a huge issue with their offense when it stalled out the last couple weeks, which is they have a competent replacement for Chris Godwin, where instead of shoehorning Sterling Shepard into that role and trying to run their offense the same way, Liam Cohen has done this really intelligent thing where Sterling Shepard is kind of running these clear out, just drag the defender routes out of the Shepard spot, but they're now actively targeting McMillan, and it's hard to generate positive EPA from running back throws, but the Buccaneers are doing it. They're one of the few offenses in the NFL that's
they run a lot of pony personnel. Like good.
Most teams, as they should.
Most teams run bad pony personnel. Like remember when like Naheem Hines was like a thing when they were running, like the Colts would run like Naheem Hines and the pony, and like people would like, yeah, look at Naheem Hines. It's like, this is terrible.
And the Cowboys, like the positive sample of what we've gotten with the Cooper Rush Cowboys. I mean, let's call it what it is. These are some of the fakest results. A 30-14 win over come on, dude. The Panthers. It was all fun for us to be like, oh, Bryce Young, and he's going to start for them next year, but this is a bad football team. They easily lose to the Bengals. They beat the Giants. Congrats to them. I guess 34-26 against the Commanders looks more impressive than it is in the box score. But if you look at what actually happened in that game, we had the Kevontae Turpin return. We had the
what a spin move.
The spin move. And that game was 3-3 at half. And that was just an insanely bizarre game. I'm not weighing that in their sample of saying this is a team that is going to frequently hang with playoff teams. It's a bad team. It's a bad team with a bad quarterback. You're right. It's all been, they've been able to run the ball with Rico. I mean, they have stopped using Ezekiel Elliott, so I guess that's positive for them. But I had the Buccaneers as my
nice
3. Yeah,
beautiful.
I had the Buccaneers as my 3. REEBS, that was your 4.
Yeah.
Okay, my 4 is the Minnesota Vikings minus 3 points.
Well, I almost had
Seahawks.
this one.
So this is very similar to my logic. Very similar to my logic with the Rams, which is just the Vikings are like a way better team than the Seahawks. The Seahawks offense is actually worse than last season, despite everyone, being all in on Ryan Grubb. Like everyone's like, oh, Ryan Grubb, he's a genius. It's going to be awesome. They're 5.4 yards per play. Just to give you a sense of where that is the same as the New Orleans Saints. That is 0.1 yards better than the Indianapolis Colts. The Vikings are 5.7 yards per play. But obviously, the thing that the Vikings are doing is they have this unbelievably good defense. They generate an insane amount of pressure. Brian Flores is like the most aggressive blitzer in the modern NFL. The Seahawks have an awful offensive line. Like all their offensive line starters are either below average or average in, PFF pass block grade. Geno practiced in full, but is going to be playing on a wonky knee. Like I assume he's healthy enough to play. Like it's not like I'm worried about that, but he is playing injured. And to me, I sort of feel like every Vikings line is someone in the market saying, I just don't quite believe in the Sam Darnold thing. The Sam Darnold, I just don't really buy it. And I made this point to Jacob Sanderson yesterday, and I'm going to toss this to you now. Why can Sam Darnold not be Jared Goff? Tell me why Sam Darnold in this iteration of the Vikings cannot be what Jared Goff has been for the Lions.
I mean, I don't disagree.
Because there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason why he can't be. There is no reason why the Minnesota Vikings cannot be the NFC representative.
I mean, they're in an impossible spot again. Like, it's like it's just a terrible situation for the Vikings to be in. I guess maybe not, but like, because what do? Are they going to extend Darnold? Are they going to just give it to JJ McCarthy coming off of no sample size and a knee injury? It's rough. They're in a tough spot.
It's not that tough of a spot. I think the playoffs are going to give you the answer. If they win if they're in the Super Bowl, Darnold will be back. Well,
they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
No, if they make it. If they lose in the divisional round in a horrifyingly embarrassing way and Darnold throws 3 picks, I mean, they don't even have to think about it, because part of this is based on like fan base expectations and stuff, and if he stinks in the playoffs, everyone's going to be ready for him to go. But like from a team building perspective, it's pretty obvious what you do. It's you let someone else sign Darnold to that contract. You don't really want to give Sam Darnold I think he's going to get better than the Geno contract because he's younger. He's like much younger. He's not going to get, and he's not going to. Could he get the Daniel Jones for 4 years, $160 million with injury guarantees?
Yeah, maybe the Titans might be giving out some quarterback money.
Titans, Raiders, Jets. I guess the Jets would not obviously be.
No, that would be great for the LOLs though.
Yeah, it would be. Panthers. No, Panthers wouldn't do it either because he was a Panther. So I guess the number
they're gonna roll this thing back with Bryce Young, I think.
I guess the number of teams are fairly limited in terms of who would be like who were you bidding it? Yeah, the Baker contract, 3 years, $100 million. They could also franchise tag him, right? They could just tag him 1 year
and just do a 1 year.
Well, you say you start, and if you stink, that's it. It's over. We're going. But from a team building perspective, you gotta, especially because they are not winning quote unquote because of Darnold. I mean, would they be potentially the 1 seed with Nick Mullins? I don't think so. Sam Darnold is better than Nick Mullins, but they're not winning because of Darnold. So I am sure they think they can replicate this next year with JJ McCarthy. I mean, remember, everyone thought the Vikings were going to stink this year. They were dogs to make the playoffs. The Minnesota Vikings were. Well, Cousins would not start over anyone right now. Cousins.
I almost had this one on mine though. It was a tough cut, but yeah, the Seahawks have been an unserious kind of operation though all year because they've been home favorite. They've been at home the last 2 weeks and been dogs. Like the market's telling you, like they don't believe in the Seahawks either. That against quality teams. So, and you look at just how they've played terrible at home, right? Like it used to be the old Seahawks to 12s narrative, right? Like no one wants to play in Seattle. They've been awful at home this year. They've only scored a touchdown on 16% of their drives at home. Only the Browns, Cowboys, and Giants have been worse this season at home. And then you look at since week 9, they can't run the football, man. I mean, 55% of their set of downs reach third down. That's 30th in the NFL. So they're always in like these third down situations. It's just been kind of a really kind of a bad offense. And you can say the offensive line's been bad. If you want to talk about the scheme, DK's missed some time, like all those things. Also, from a matchup stance, this is a kind of a spot to where there's some signal for the Seahawks here. Seattle has been awful against play action passes this year. And Sam Darnold leads the NFL in touchdown rate and yards per pass attempt using play action. Seattle against play action, 26th in completion rate, 28th in yards per attempt allowed, and 31st in touchdown rate allowed against play action passes. The last time they faced a quarterback that was top 10 in play action use, it was Matthew Stafford, and Stafford dusted them up pretty good in that game. So definitely a spot where Darnold, I think, even as bad as he played on Monday and kind of reminded us, he's had a couple of times this year where he's like, oh yeah, it's still Sam Darnold. But this is a spot where he could kind of bounce back. He's largely the sample has been largely positive for Darnold.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He loses his mind and has had some
the ghosts.
I mean, he's just had some moment. The second, the game against the Jets, the London game against the Jets, the first half last week, there just are segments where he's bad, just flat, not even making bad plays, just playing the quarterback position poorly. But put me in the pro Darnold camp, at least for the remainder of this football season. That was my 4. We did my 3, which was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. REEBS, what do you got for your 3?
Yeah, I'm going to a team that I've never maybe picked over the course of the show. You have of multiple times.
Oh no.
But I'm taking the Cardinals.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it's just a spot where you have a team that, well, one, the Cardinals have been paper champions anyways. They're 5-0 this season against teams with a losing record, 2-7 against winning teams this season. But where it really comes down to is that this is a really good running game against the worst run defense in the NFL, and not the worst run defense in the NFL. They're missing now. A'Shawn Robinson's not going to play in this game, and 2 linebackers were put on IR this week for the Carolina Panthers. Dude, it's going to be there's so much James Conner in this game. The Cardinals are number 1 in the NFL in rate of runs that have gained 10 or more yards this season. The Carolina Panthers they have the worst success rate against running back runs of the league. It's gonna be so much James Conner in this game. It's just gonna, and we've seen, like, as fun as like the Panthers have been over this like back half of the year and like having like a glimmer of hope with Bryce Young, this is still a terrible football team, and we saw it last week losing at home to the Dallas Cowboys. So I just think you're gonna get so much running game, and the Cardinals are a team that don't make mistakes, that this is gonna be kind of one of those games where it's like 27-10 or something.
REEBS, buddy. This was my number 1.
Oh,
this is my number 1. I have never been less convinced by a mainstream narrative than people deciding all of a sudden, like, yes, Bryce Young is showing us something. Bryce Young is not a 0.
He's not flaccid. It's moving a little.
The Carolina Panthers are averaging 5 yards per play on offense in the good Bryce Young games. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
Bryce Young is back. Bryce Young, dude, Dylan is saying I don't have to say mean thing. I'm not trying to be mean, but these are the results that Bryce Young has gotten. A 30-14 loss against the Cowboys, a 22-16 loss against the Eagles. So that, I suppose, to be fair, could have been a win had Xavier Leggett, held onto that ball. The overtime loss against the Buccaneers. And sure, did they push the Chiefs? Theoretically. Is that really that impressive? Not to me, buddy. I am too familiar with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I guess they won. They won the New York Giants game. So shout out to them. But they also did this. The Panthers have not thrown for 300 yards on offense since the Dalton game against the Raiders. They are certainly less effective on the ground without another guy to get Hubbard off the field. Like just having Hubbard have to take 22 touches a game or what. Now, Hubbard is an awesome DFS option this week. This is actually an interesting point that Ryan just said. If Bryce Young were 6 feet tall, no one would care at all about the Renaissance. Yeah, it's so true. Like Zach Wilson, if Zach Wilson had a 4-week stretch where he kind of pushed some teams, it's not like anyone would be like,
that happened. No, do you not remember this happening? I think it was 2 years ago where the Jets had a stretch where I think they went like 4-1, and it was kind of semi-early in the season. And like
it was 2022.
And everyone was like, this dude's still terrible. Don't buy in. And like Jets fans were livid. Like they were
it was this stretch right here. 24-20 against the Steelers, 40-17 against the Dolphins, 27-10 against the Packers, 16-9 against the Broncos. You're exactly right, Rich.
And I remember like Twitter being mad because I remember putting out like just like some random stat about like how like this isn't real with Zach Wilson. Like people are like, no, look, the wins, baby, like and all these things, like it's turning around. And yeah, I still think big picture, we've got the sample has shown. I don't think Bryce Young is an answer at quarterback, like big picture, but hey, what are you gonna do?
I'm more open to it than you. I
don't think he's Zach Wilson, but I think he's probably like mid range. Like, I don't think he's an answer. Is basically what I'm saying. I just don't think he's an answer.
Yeah. So anyway, all of that was a long way of saying, and the thing, obviously, for me as a slappy this year that has been so frustrating has been not Kyler's play as a whole, but Kyler's play game to game, week to week, quarter to quarter. Like in the context of the entirety of the season, Kyler's the
EPA fraud this year. Like because he shows up well in like EPA per play and like like advanced metrics, but like when you've watched Kyler, like man, he has not passed the eye test very often this year.
So that's so funny you say that because
because Petzing I've talked about his passing when they're put in a position where they have to throw and the opponent knows that they have to throw, the lack of creativity that passing game has is exposed. But like in a situation like this where they're going to be able to play, and it's why last week too, I was pro Cardinals as well, is that when they're able to play these teams in positive game script where the run game is the catalyst for the offense, everything comes along with this offense.
And obviously that's what
and that's what we're gonna have.
That's what we're gonna have here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It's so funny you say that about the eye test because I feel like Kyler also wildly vacillates eye test wise from play to play, where sometimes you're like, oh, this guy, no chance. This guy's the worst quarterback ever. I would never bet on this guy. And then like kind of everyone has their own mental map of what they think of these players. But for me, you know the quintessential Kyler play? It's the 50-yard rushing touchdown against the 49ers where he starts celebrating on the 30. Because some guys, it's just like some guys just have it like that. The Kyler misses a lot of easy throws, though, which is because he's got the Bryce thing where he literally can't see. He just literally can't see sometimes, which is that is a problem. Maybe he'll be an outfielder someday. Anyways,
does McBride score a touchdown this week?
Kyler,
this is it, right?
Kyler tweeted, bro.
I know this is it, right?
I gotta pull this tweet up for anyone.
So while you're pulling it up, so they're trying their hearts out to make this happen. Kyler's talked about it. So they're trying. So now McBride is up to 36% of the team targets in the red zone. That's the highest rate of all tight ends. Through week 8, he only had 1 target in the end zone. He now has 6 end zone targets over his past 6 games. Like they are trying their hearts out. If there ever was a week, the Carolina Panthers allow the highest touchdown rate per target to tight ends. Like this has got to be it. It's all coming together.
So he actually didn't tweet it. He said it on he said it on Instagram. He said 85 will touch the end zone soon. I promise. Saluting emoji. And if hashtag NFL, hashtag Trey McBride, hashtag brother. Yes, they are trying. I don't know. Feels like a good week for him to do it. You're right.
Yeah, and there's gonna be, like I said, James Conner is gonna absolutely just destroy this game. Especially if today we're recording this before practice comes out. If Trey Benson doesn't practice and play,
he's out. I think they ruled him out.
They ruled him out? Because
I'm pretty sure
DeMercado got put on IR 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, it's going to be a big James Conner game regardless.
Yes, yeah. It'll be DJ Douglas.
Speaking of social media, you'll appreciate this.
I probably will.
Did you see what Jahmyr Gibbs did?
Oh no, what did Jahmyr Gibbs do?
So I don't think he's not on Twitter, but we pulled this up on our show on RG. On his Instagram, he changed his avatar now to Supersonic.
I'm not familiar with Sonic lore, but is that like when Sonic and Knuckles?
It's like, it's basically it's basically like when Sonic does like goes like Super Saiyan or like eats the Mario Star, like so like he's it's like God mode Sonic.
I do love that. I love that's very cool. That's very cool. I'm rooting for Jahmyr Gibbs. I am the only one in my DraftKings millionaire pod with Jahmyr Gibbs. So I hope that he gets 47 points this week. All right, Reebs, that was my one. My 3 was the Buccaneers. So
okay, we're on the same page. We're on the same page.
I've got my 2 left. And that's it. My 2 and your 1. That's what we have left.
No, I still have 2, right?
Yes,
because I cheated. I gave you
2 and your 1.
I cheated. Oh. My 2 is the Bengals. And it's just because, and this one I think too is the teaser potential. I think you can tease the Bengals with the 49ers. You could do something like Bengals. What is it now? I know it's moved. It's like 8.5, right?
8.5.
You can do something like Bengals minus 2.5, 49ers plus 5 or 6, right? Like something like that. I think is a really good like 6-point tease. But either way, I'm betting against DTR. Like this dude. Oh my God. Like, so there have been 64 quarterbacks that have thrown 100 more passes since the start of last season. He's dead last in rating. He's completed 51% of his passes, which is 62nd. He's averaging 3.7 yards per pass attempt. 3.7. Dude, Deshaun Watson's been the Deshaun Watson Browns are better than the DTR Browns. 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions, 16% inaccurate throw rate, which is also last on that list. This is just this guy. This is not going to work. It's just not going to work, man.
He is dead last in National Football League history in yards per pass attempt with
and we already seen him against the Bengals. If you think the Bengals defense is bad enough to let this happen, he threw 24 passes against the Bengals already this season and was 11 of 24 passing for 2.8 yards per pass attempt.
I mean, look, it seems bad. It seems bad to be that bad. But yeah, they're not going to be able to. They're really probably not going to be able to run. It's not like the Cleveland Browns defense is any good. I mean, we thought the Cleveland Browns defense was going to be good to begin the season, and maybe they have good players, but maybe it's could totally be a motivation issue, or just like they've had to play every game downhill. That's got to be very demoralizing. It's very hard for a defense to be trailing for basically the jump of every single game. Yeah. Yes, they did do this. They made Jameis the QB3 at the end of the Watson era.
Yeah, that was the game he tore his Achilles.
Because they didn't want the fans clamor. They literally didn't want Jameis Winston chance.
Well, remember they talked about it in the preseason. In the preseason, there was talk that Winston was so much better than Watson. It was already a narrative from the beats and everything. And it was like already gaining steam. So like they had to try to mush it a little bit because obviously ownership was had to ride out the Watson thing as far as they could. And it finally the football deities took it out of their hands. But it is a bummer that we won't have Jameis here for the Burrow factor, right? Like Jameis Burrow would have been fun.
Would have been fun. Now, the Bengals have scored 37, 27, 38, 27, 34, 41 in their most recent 6 games. So it's certainly the type of team that you could see covering an 8.5 point spread. No problem. But I would be, and if you like the Bengals side of this game, you were probably a little bit encouraged, but just from like a motivation perspective, they basically doubled their playoff odds with the result of the Thursday night game. If they went out,
and they play the Broncos next week,
and they play the Broncos next week. So if they win their next 3 games, the Broncos lose their next 2 games. So they lose in week 17. And then they lose in week 18.
Well, if we know how this is going to go, the 2024 Bengals win the next 2 and then lose in week 18.
Who do that? Let's
they play Steelers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they lose to Justin Fields and the Steelers because the Steelers have the division locked up, they don't have to play, and Justin Fields beats them.
This has been one of the larger wastes of an epic quarterback season that we've seen in recent memory.
True.
So Burrow's been so damn good this year.
Yeah. So I've done my 1. I haven't done my 2. Is that correct? Yeah, I haven't done my 2.
Yeah. Dazzless.
REEBS, I have the San Francisco 49ers. I have the San Francisco
nice. Yeah, I almost had them on there, but I do like them. Like I think them with the Bengals tees then fits then. We tie our 2 together. So we were on it.
It's just like this is Quintus. I mean, this is Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker. Actually, I was talking about this with Jacob yesterday. That's not quite accurate. Because in this equation, Palpatine is
let's
Mike
do it.
Shanahan.
Okay.
Well, Mike Shanahan is Palpatine, right? So who's
well, would we just say Dad Shanahan's Palpatine?
That's what I said, Mike.
Oh, Mike Shanahan. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Mike is Palpatine.
Yeah, all right.
Kyle's Vader.
Yep.
McDaniel is like Asajj Ventress, maybe in this.
He's like Count Dooku.
He's Count Dooku. McVay is Darth Maul's brother. No, McVay is Maul. Kevin O'Connell is Savage Opress, right? If we're going all the way down the line, but
so Savage Opress is like Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor, I like that. I like that. That's very good. Yeah, that's very good. So I'm giving Vader the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? It. I'm giving Vader, like the 49ers are just better at every level. They're better. They have a better offensive line. The defense has not been particularly good, but I mean, I don't weight those things particularly heavy.
But their defense now got everyone back. Funny enough, when none of it matters. But Bosa, Hufanga, and Greenlaw all came back.
There you go. I mean, to me, this is just like, I think I think Purdy's better. I think the 49ers weapons, particularly with Waddle out, better. The Dolphins, did you see there was a great tweet going around last week showing just how predetermined Tua's throws are. The interception the burst interception that he threw, it was literally like the point and click, like, okay, Tua, this is what you do. And the linebacker just baited him into it and just stood like literally like basically like fair caught the interception. It's a very unpopular opinion after what the 49ers did last Thursday, but I have found myself now actually being a pro Purdy guy. I've swung all the way around from Pumpkin Purdy to a pro Purdy guy. So the 49ers versus the Dolphins was my number 2.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but we'll push it along here just because
we're running we're gas bagging today. All right, REEBS, what's your number 1?
Well, we're talking about the Supersonic, and we're breaking down the what is it, the Shanahan Vader stuff. And it happens, man. Week 16, we have the fun stuff there, the Sith Lord tree.
Correct.
I got the Eagles one. This team, I'm fully eagle pilled at this point. This team is downright scary. For them to do what they did last week against a real defense, like you've got to be terrified. If you're someone that has like been like, I don't know about the Eagles, right? Like what happens when they have to really throw against a good defense, buddy? What happens with Saquon Barkley? He doesn't do anything, buddy. Like they were awesome. And it's hilarious too that this team has won 10 games in a row. Basically as the best game they played all season. And they're still like fighting on the sidelines. Like it's like you can't get away from like this team just having goofy stuff happening. But this team, from a real football field perspective, they have had the best defense over the past 2 months by far. They have multiple ways to beat you. They've got 2 good receivers. They've got the best running back in the NFL this season. And they're facing this Commanders team that is down. The last time these teams played, their 2 leading receivers in that game aren't even playing in this game, Zach Ertz and Austin Eckler, which again tells you how the first matchup went. Noah Brown's been put out. They're down to Terry McLaurin, who Cliff, when these teams played the first time, lined up at left wide receiver, 37 snaps, played 1 snap at right wide receiver, 9 in the slot, and just lined him up against Quinyon Mitchell and was like, all right, I guess we'll make this work. So I just don't see how they generate enough points against this Eagles team that basically I think can kind of do what they want against this Commanders team.
Reeves, we do not disagree very often, man. But I to me, this is just, I guess this is just emotional analysis for me. There's actually no statistical evidence for this at all. To me, this just feels like a classic comes down a divisional matchup at the end of the season where things really like. I'm just expecting Jayden Daniels to play really well here. It's really.
I haven't beat a team with a winning record yet this season. The Commanders.
Oh yeah, the Commanders are not a good team. Is there anything faker than the Commanders defense? Like the Commanders defense seeming good? Like they do not have a good defense. The thing about
they have a good defensive coach. For sure.
Dan Quinn is a great.
There's some all right pieces. They got a decent pass rush, but
I mean, Daniels has had stretches of looking awful.
He's a rookie quarterback, and
he's a rookie quarterback. But maybe this is where I'm too fantasy brained, where I'm like, oh, like Jayden Daniels, go Burr. Like I like Jayden Daniels conceptually at very low ownership in fantasy, like in DFS stuff this week, but. Another thing that's very annoying about the Eagles is they have a hard time building massive leads because they don't generate explosive passing plays as often as they could. I feel like the Eagles weirdly could be like undefeated with the Jalen Hurts MVP season, but they just haven't really wanted to press it that way. You know what I'm saying?
But they showed last week they can still do it if it called upon.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the frustrating thing is everyone knows they could do it. Everyone knows that they could average 278 passing yards per game, and AJ Brown could have 1,500 yards. They just don't. They're just not really all that interested in playing that way. I don't know why, but they aren't.
Yeah, and also the Jayden Daniels ribs thing is the falsest narrative ever from the first matchup. It was. First of all, it was 3 weeks after his rib injury, 4 weeks actually after his rib injury. And it's just look at Jayden Daniels' performance this year. And he's a rookie quarterback. I love Jayden Daniels. He's one of my most popular picks this year. It's all matchup based. All of his spike weeks have come against bad opponents. Like it's really, they've had one of the easiest schedules of any team this season. From as far as pass defenses go, and you look at all of his down moments when they've had to face like good defenses, his yards per pass attempt, Bears, Steelers, Eagles, like it's that like there's a clear corollary here. Like, yeah,
no, you're right.
It wasn't the ribs. Like that was the laziest thing at the time. I wrote about it in the worksheet at that time. I was like, it's not as ribs. It's like it's fun that people are using this as a crutch, but like it's all been opponent driven.
I mean, look, I believe it. There's no one who I would.
I think last week was a scary ass game for the rest of the league for what the Eagles did. Like that was a
showing up and being like, dude, if we want to get Devonta Smith 10 for 100, we can. No sweat, no problem. I agree. That should
against the Steelers.
Very scary.
Against the Steelers too. Like it's not like they went out and did that against I don't know, like the Panthers or something like or whatever. Like some. That was by far the best offensive performance any team has had against the Steelers all season. They couldn't even stop them. Dude, they just went in the fourth quarter and were like, you're not getting the ball back.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have the football again.
11 play drive, or what was it?
Good
22
night.
play drive, 11 minutes and 33 seconds. Just shut it the heck down.
The defense is off. I mean, that game was downright scary. And with the way that Lions have been trending, I still am excited to watch Lions Eagles. I hope we are not robbed of it. But with the amount of injuries the Lions have now stacked up and the way the Eagles are trending, like, man.
Not great. All right, Reebs. Let's close it out, man.
We gotta run through this.
Yeah, let's go. Hit me quick.
What do we like?
Here's my favorite one. Najee Harris not to score a touchdown is my
but that doesn't fit. You're gonna do the Hateful 8 next show.
I'm including this on all of them. I had Javonte not to score last night in like 5 different things.
Let's do James Conner. Let's start with James Conner first anyway.
Easy. Yeah, very, very easy. Yeah, James Conner. You want yards or touchdowns?
Yeah, give me those 80.5 rushing yards. All these are good though.
Yeah, they are.
Find me a bad. Are we doing Gibbs? Anything for Gibbs?
Oh yeah, we got to do.
His lines have to be stupid though.
They're crazy.
125 total yards.
I tell you the best one, Reebs. Longest rush, because he's gonna get 6 more rushes to do.
Yeah, we were talking about this. So DraftKings actually opened this at 19.5 because they factored in you're gonna get more opportunities to have a long run.
Yeah. I think
we gotta go back to it.
I think we go. One of my favorite ones this week is Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think we do JSN and we give him a little bit of an extra bump. I think the way that the Seahawks will respond.
I wish catches were on there.
I was gonna say I wish catches were up, but I think we can do.
I do like him. I like DK this week on DraftKings at his price. It's the squeaky wheel spot. They talked about like how mad they are that like he's not getting the ball.
All right. Since we're on Philadelphia, do we want the tush push? Do we want?
Who knows what the fuck they're gonna do, right? That's the thing. That's the thing about the Eagles. But like, I just think that it's getting scary that they just have it. It's like, oh, do you want us to whip out a spade? We got that spade. You want a spade check us?
Every Bear beat their line basically on the Thanksgiving day. Do we like Caleb? Do we like Moore? Do we like Keenan? Do we like Rome?
I like Moore the most of the guys because no Carlton Davis, and Carlton Davis didn't play in the Thanksgiving game, and he had 16 targets.
All right. Do you want receptions? You want yards? You want touchdown?
The yards probably are fine because you have multiple ways to get out, right?
Yes.
A couple long plays. I do like just do it to 59.5.
59.5. Yeah. I like him a good bit this week. What do we have?
What about Bijan Robinson?
Bijan will be good. Bijan, I think
they're high too. High totals.
That is insanely high. I like receiving yards. Penix with the rookie check down. You like that? You like receiving yards on Mr. Robinson?
Mooney's just a wild card, right? Up. It's just we don't know.
I'll tell you one I really like. How about
I like Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings. Yeah,
cook it.
Juwan Jennings, 59 and
do it. Let's do it. Let's do a little more on there. Let's do a little sprinkle.
Let's do a little sprinkle buddy. You are speaking. You were speaking my language this week, man.
Let's do a little more.
Yeah. Look, I think Juwan Jennings is an awesome DFS play this week. All right, my guy Chase Brown. You want to talk about a Chase Brown?
Oh, this is a great spot for Chase Brown. Either way. It's a win-win situation for him.
Yeah, Chase Brown goes either way. I think we do combo yards. Yeah, I think we do. I think you do combo yards or potentially even multiple touchdowns. I might do that with Nez here in a little bit when Mr. Nez shows up. All right, Reebs, you close us out here. You take our.
All right, I got a wild card here for the reasons that. I've talked up on a couple shows. How about Jordan Addison?
Dude, I love it. You want yards?
Do we have touchdown? A longest catch?
Yes, 21.5. How about 29.5?
So all of those play action splits I was talking about earlier, he actually leads the team in target rate with use of play action and yards per out run. He actually has more targets.
As a big Justin Jefferson guy, I'm insanely familiar with how often Jordan Addison gets those. We'll do 21.5.
Yeah, do that longest catch 21.5 because we don't need him to have like a huge game or anything. It's just, one play.
All right. Oh no, they gave me the dreaded location error. Reebs, you are about to go
Yeah, I'm gonna go jump on with high-low.
With high-low. Everyone say goodbye to Mr. Reebs.
Yeah. And if you listened to us last week, boy, did you win some money.
Yeah? You had all the shippers last week?
Well, yeah, Aaron Rodgers doubles with BTJ and Brent Strange runbacks. We talked about going heavy on those. I played 4 quarterbacks last week. It was Rodgers, Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, the Lamar teams all had Zay Flowers and not Bateman. So, but they still cashed. Lamar teams cashed, and Josh Allen, Amon-Ra mini stacks were the other play.
Pretty free.
And then I did have Kyler, but he sucked. But I played James Conner in every non-Kyler lineup, and he was the highest score running back. Like, we absolutely flooded last week.
All right. Well, then, guys, make sure that you are checking out Mr. Reebs and Mr. High-Low. Rich, I'll let you go, man.
Yeah, listen, Merry Christmas, everybody. Everyone have happy holidays. Get those stockings stuffed with some cash. Get some of that money back that you spent this holiday season.
For sure. All right, man. Take it easy. Have a good day. All right, boys. There we go. Nez, Merry Christmas to everyone except for Michael Pittman Jr., man. I can't believe it. That's on me because I normally don't check the Hateful Eight because I don't want to jinx it, but I did check it because it literally was locked in and no one was even close. Like whoever, I don't even remember who else we had, but it was like no one was even close.
Oh, we crushed, dude. We absolutely crushed.
Yeah. Well, there we go, man. How's your week going? You drafting mittens? You drafting goal line stands? What do you been? I mean, there's you were drafting 3-man NBA Cup BRs, dude.
I eked out like a 20% or $20 profit on like $600 in entry fees there. That was exhilarating. Battling 1v1s and 2v2s there. No, I had my folks in town this week. They're in Pennsylvania, so they got to come down, and like that was like our way of spending Christmas together because my wife is super pregnant, so we weren't going to travel or anything like that. So they came down. It was a good time. Smelled some roses, but I still got some drafts in. Thankfully, it lined up really nicely with the NBA Cup, so there wasn't a ton of slates in. But no, I'm doing gauntlets. I was actually naming some gauntlets before I came on the show, which is,
naming gauntlets, dude. That is sick.
I mean, that's how you know you're confident, right? You're just, let me just name these. I know something's going to hit. And then I was autoing mittens, Davis. I know this is like so anti. I know, right? Yeah. This is really not your thing, but there's a formula for autoing these right now that I actually am a fan of. So I've been doing that.
All right. Well, don't tell me the formula. What I will say is if you want your mittens in, you should probably do it today or tomorrow. It literally, dude, it might just be done tomorrow. People might just be off work and they might be like, all right, well, GG's, we're filling it. It's $5. It's a Saturday. We're doing it.
I was literally like thinking about like, okay, do I need to tell my wife like, hey, I need either like either an all-nighter or like an entire Saturday to just literally lock myself in a room and draft these and draft these playoff basketball teams because things are feeling fast and furious and I want to get some volume in. These are nice because they deduct from your winnings for tax season. So you got to get your entries in, man. You got to get them because they count as entries and then you don't get the wins.
Playoff best ball is a volume game. Got it. It's a combo. It's a combos game. Yeah.
You really do have to go hard with the volume. You don't have to, but like if you want to like if you're trying to win, you really do. It's a big time volume game.
Oh, Nez, have you been in the double doink rooms for gladiator purposes, bro?
Brother, as soon as we got that, like I was in the living room with my dad watching like Christmas Vacation, and I got the David Montgomery push notification, and Gibbs was like ADP 17. I'm like, Dad, you're gonna have to pause this scene where he's about to kidnap his boss. I need to set some ranks. And so I I got Gibbs all the way up there, and Connor was just like the easiest double doink click of all time. And I was firing off double doinks. I had no shame in that. It's fun, it's a different skill expression. I'm usually playing GPPs. Now I get to try to do the cash.
Well, and the double doink, you can actually just auto that. There's just no. I mean, it's like NBA. You're just trying to amass points. There's no. There you could enter the same team. Yeah, you could enter the same team 67 times if you were so inclined.
Yeah, no. So that's definitely like a gladiator cheat code.
Yeah. All right, boys. It is time. REEBS came here and shared the goods on whomst to select for your NFL sports betting picks. Now, dude, the Christmas weekend sweat. We're gonna pull up the Unabated DFS Pick Em tool. There is a link to check out Unabated using my promo code in the description of this if you are watching on YouTube. John, how's the Unabated stuff been treating you? Oh, I said John. I meant how is it been treating
on the streams all week? So
I was gonna say, dude, where like he's been in, he's been out. What is John doing? But how's the Unabated stuff been treating you guys?
Very well, dude. Very well. I like using the market based stuff, and you can pump in projections too. But I like the market based stuff to kind of just see, like, as a baseline, like where some of those edges are. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing a ton of NBA, and it's the 101 for me for NBA, and they have a dashboard coming soon for that too, which like I'm super pumped about. But it's been working out well. Like I don't know how I was doing stuff without like odd screeners and things like that before. I literally cannot imagine doing anything without it now. Like that was very silly of me to not have this in my tool bag before.
All right. Well, I literally have not even looked at this yet. I have no idea what
I'm
Derek,
excited.
Is going to have serving up to us. Boys, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to spend the next hour or so building some Pick Em entries over on the app of the people, the dog app. And is that really Kendre Miller's line? Is that available right now on underdog.com?
I didn't check a lot of the Monday Night Football stuff. But,
52 rushing yards. Okay, sold, done. Again, ship it.
All slates included. All right, this is going to be fun, man, because these primetime slates have some. They like all these primetime games are calling me, but I was trying to stay main slate focused. But this is good. This is good.
We got. If he likes, I was gonna say, if he likes, if Derek likes Aiden O'Connell, would you rather take Aiden O'Connell here? I'd rather just take Bowers, honestly, than do the team level thing. But Raiders Jacksonville, by the way, could just be the most fun. No one cares what happens in this game. There's no reason to be like, oh, let's really dig in and play defense here. Like this is just like Mac Jones and Aiden O'Connell playing pitch and catch.
Yeah, we spoiler alert, we like to name like Slop It Up Fest of the week for Often on the Clock with Pete and John, and this is the 101. This is the Slop It Up Fest of the year.
This game
Vegas Jags game is going to be awesome.
This game could have anything from 17 total points to 69, like more points than every other game of the entire week 16 slate. I could tell. I could go either way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you want to throw Aiden O'Connell or do you want to throw Bowers on?
No, we could do either, but I do like Aiden O'Connell. I take Aiden O'Connell hires anytime that he's a healthy start. It's going to take next season for Underdog, for anywhere that's listing these passing yards. It's going to take next season for them to catch up to the fact that Aiden O'Connell slings that shit. And he's got pass catchers. He's got Jacoby. He's got Brock Bowers. Amir Abdullah is going to be catching passes as well. I mean, he just hits his number every week that he's healthy and stays in the game. So I love AOC, man. He's one of my favorite players, to be honest.
Are you woke enough to take him in 6-mans? And are you woke enough to take Aiden O'Connell in 6-man BR?
I'm still trying to turn money into more money, so I can't get there in that respect. But
Fair.
There's other plays. There's other plays that you can get gross.
I don't love Jared Goff lower passing yards just because.
I mean, shocker, right? Jared Goff outdoors. Cardi.
Yeah,
Cardi takes a
I mean,
lower.
look, it's one of the greatest angles of all time. Probably is just knowing that Jared Goff was born in California with small hands and he can't play outdoors. I'm not going to take that. Obviously, I think it's probably directionally accurate, but we can just correlate here and we can just take Mac Jones higher passing yards. We could just play for the slot fest.
Yeah, that's the way to go, right? We get Cardi's permission to correlate. Sign me up.
I do like that. Here's a lower I like. I actually like Josh Allen lower passing yards, not because I'm a hater and not because I want Liam to go eat it, but because there's just absolutely no reason for why would the Bills even be throwing forward pass attempts in this game? The Patriots beat themselves. The Patriots are they don't even. Alex Van Pelt, it's like his job is like, okay, put Drake May underwater in a locked cage with handcuffs on, and then just see what he can do. They're gonna score 10 points in this game. I do like the Josh Allen lower passing yards. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that this game script really dictates him to like throw a lot. But what's kind of interesting is like with the Bills though. It's almost like hear me out for a minute. It feels like in competitive game scripts, obviously this is not one of them. Josh Allen is like rushing more. He's like using his legs more. Now that it's like non-competitive, he doesn't have to use his legs as much. And so I feel like they kind of use James Cook checkdowns as like as like rush attempts.
As rush attempts.
Yeah. So part of me thinks that it's semi-trappy, but like the logic, clear as day, makes a lot of sense, but the Bills are just weird to me. And this, like, it could be in an easier game. Josh Allen can actually just
Josh Allen MVP. Gotta pile it on. I can see that, but the MVP. Look, dude, the MVP is already his. He's like minus. I think he's like literally like minus 500 for MVP right now.
Yeah,
actually, I'm pretty sure we can check that on Unabated. Actually,
yeah, it's a shame because Lamar obviously having a great season, but Josh Allen's team has a better record, and Josh Allen just, I mean, like Lamar impressive season. What Josh Allen is doing is just like pure, just plainly stupid. What this season Josh Allen is having.
Look, man, he deserves it. I got no issues with it. It's actually been very nice for Mahomes to have just been shitty this year and last year because I don't even have to get righteously indignant about who wins MVP. Just like, yeah, Mahomes should finish like 19th in MVP voting.
Did you see the Nick Wright This Is Football episode with
I literally have that tab open on my computer. There's like 10 minutes of him talking.
You need to like isolate yourself while he talks about the Chiefs in that one because that's just such Davis bait.
I assume he's tilting. I assume he's tilting or is he reverse tilting? Is he tilting everyone?
Oh, he's tilting the media. Chiefs? He's tilting the media. So you're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it.
Bijan lower rushing yards. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I know John or Nez. I did it again. How many Bijan teams do you have left? I'm assuming he was a core part of your identity. You got to have a good bit of him left.
I think I have 2 left. One of them is like a Bijan and Josh Jacobs team. So like I'm really, really feeling good about that one, even though the wide receivers are kind of ass in there. I don't think it's as many. I mean, it's hard to advance any teams to week 16. I don't think it's as many as you would think. Like I have more Chase Brown teams than I do.
Yeah.
Bijan.
Well,
and Bijan is my highest drafted player.
Bijan's going to score more points this week than Chase Brown's going to score more points this week than Bijan. No sweat.
Yeah, I think I have $33 of 3 shares of Bijan in week 16. So
how many teams overall do you have alive right now?
16.
Dude, that's creepy. We both have exactly 16.
Wow. I mean, that's wild. We both also put in way too much volume to
have 16 teams left. Yeah.
I win a mini Schnauzer. I'm red on the season.
I think if I win a mini Schnauzer with other min caches, I think we're close. I think if I win a mini schnauzer, we're close. We're close.
I'm literally red on the season. If I win a mini, that's disgusting.
Well, actually, if you include being a weekly BR maxer without having a top 5, definitely red on the season.
No, separate combo.
Give me insight on your boy. What we'll take Bijan out just for the vibes. Vibes. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We are going to take Josh Allen lower passing yards though.
We'll do that.
That is decent. That is decent conviction.
We might get Mitch Trubisky for like 15 minutes.
That is exactly what I think. Talk to me about your king, your division winning king, Russell Wilson.
Dude.
REEBS just had the stat. They're dead last in EPA per pass on plays where Pickens is not on the field.
Yeah, dude, on the money with that. Even in this spot where against the Ravens, it's gonna be terrible. I'm just really
they're definitely gonna win, but it's gonna be one of the worst, most offensive football games you've ever watched.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel good for Lamar and Derrick Henry here. I mean, just historically, Steelers have played them pretty tough, but this is just a completely different Ravens team. But no, yeah, lower Russ is it's the F word, it's an L word, it's all the things, man. You got to just hit the lower on Russ. I mean, it's Calvin Austin, Mike Williams, Van Jefferson, dude,
and not even much Mike Williams. Even with Pickens out, he still played the 4th most snaps at wide receiver, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, you could easily point to Mike Williams coming off the injury and being old and think, yeah, he's going to regress. But I thought he would have more than like 2 targets a game in 2024. I didn't think it would be quite this terrible.
I was kind of never a Mike Williams guy, so it's not that surprising to me.
Yeah.
But all right, folks, there we go. That is entry number 1. Kendre Miller, higher, 52.5 rushing yards. Russell Wilson, lower, 208.5 passing yards. Aiden O'Connell, higher than 238.5 passing yards. Mac Jones, higher than 213.5 passing yards. Josh Allen, lower, 235.5. I gotta say, Mac Jones, higher, 213.5. That feels... That is very high conviction for me. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to get 150 yards on his own, dude, against the Raiders.
Yeah, and Mac Jones is not afraid to play aggressive, not afraid to extend plays and hit things downfield. This is going to be just an awesome game, man. It's so gross, but you really have to.
Well, it also might literally be the worst game you've ever seen. Like I do want to be clear about that with people. This might be like Tank Bigsby and Amir Abdullah just like trading 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It'll really depend.
Yeah.
How does the first quarter go?
Yeah.
Like did Brock Bowers score a 60-yard touchdown in the first quarter? All bets are off.
You're stepping into a hole in the wall restaurant. The floors are disgusting. The tables are dirty, and this is either going to be the best food you've ever had, or you're walking out without paying. I mean, I would never do that,
but yes, wide range. We need a Josh Jacobs of the left. Chase Brown is totally left wing Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I've never heard a more accurate YouTube comment in my life.
Ryan's been on the money today.
Yeah, correct. All right, let's make people wait for the Hateful Eight. Let's do the octopus. Let's do the octopus.
Yeah. All right, let me get my notes out.
All right. I will begin. I'm gonna take the layup here.
Okay.
You could convince me to actually in this include Jahmyr Gibbs at 2 touchdowns at a literal. I've never seen Ashton Jeanty is the only player I've ever seen with 1.5 touchdowns at a 1.34x multiplier. But I will be taking Jahmyr Gibbs 0.7x in the octopus begin. I'm gonna start with a layup.
It is just the biggest layup ever. The Bears, I feel like it's kind of gone under the radar how bad the Bears have been defensively in the second half of the season. It's been atrocious.
They fired their defensive head coach. they're just not they're not prepared for games. They gave up 114 rushing yards to the Vikings, 131 to the 49ers, 194 to the Lions, 124 to the Vikings before, 106 to the Packers, 144 to the Patriots. The last time they allowed less than 100 yards rushing was all the way back in week 6 against the Jags.
Holy shit. And that's the Jags, right? I mean, they've never been good against the rush this season, but yeah, after firing Eberflus and now even like against the pass, they're god awful. This is this is a freebie. This is a freebie.
Yeah, this literally, this is an Underdog promotion. This is the free square. I would include Jahmyr Gibbs a touchdown in like all these. I don't care, man. Some things, sometimes you just have to have the courage of your convictions. Jahmyr Gibbs is scoring.
No, I love it. I want to go to James Conner, Pittsburgh kid.
This is like another free one.
Yeah, this one, I mean, touchdown. If we're going touchdowns here, let's just throw the touchdown in there and keep the theme going. I like James Conner and anything that he has a category that you can take a higher on this week. It's going to be all James Conner. Really excited for him. I have 50% James Conner in the BR streets right now.
Wow. And he's the running back 5. So are you taking him over Chase Brown?
I think so. Wow. It's close for me. I'm taking him.
You know who I'm slamming in the BR streets? I'm slamming the other guy. I'm slamming Chuba Hubbard in the BR streets.
Great pick as well. Chuba Hubbard's going to get a 20 million touches this week.
I've got a great question for you. What would Trey McBride's multiplier be if everyone was not talking about the Kyler Murray Instagram post? Last week, I want to say it was 1.38x. It is 1.24x this week against the Carolina Panthers. So maybe that's close to fair, but I have the sense it's at least 5% lower than it would be if Kyler did not post that on Instagram.
This is like the biggest anomaly in the universe is Trey McBride not scoring touchdowns, and also nobody taking. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there printing on Trey McBride lowers.
It should be easy. Easy is the one who every week is telling people that Trey McBride stinks.
Yeah. He's so mad that Trey McBride is good at football. He just can't stand it. But it's absolutely absurd. Just out of principle, we should be getting like 5x on Trey McBride to score a touchdown because it's not going to hit. It's not going to hit. Just and it hasn't. We deserve we deserve better on the Trey McBride multiplier.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. They tried the Kelsey play, dude.
Oh man, that was so awesome.
By the way, you can run that. You can run the shovel option in NCAA 25. Incredible vibes. Yeah. All right. We have Jimmy Conner. I will continue the trend of taking layups. I'm going to take Chase Brown, 0.86x multiplier. So our multiplier right now is very low. So we need to include at least one spicy fella in the mix at some point.
Well, I can get you. I can get you there.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's get some spice.
Let's look at Chicago. Let's go to the Chicago game. Another sneaky story is this Detroit defense being banged up, and
22 players on the injured reserve for the Detroit Lions. No other team with more than 15. That's
crazy. That's a stat. That's the stat for you. So you're getting crazy touchdown multipliers on the receivers.
1.54x for DJ Moore, 1.63 for Keenan, 1.97x for Drew Dinkmeyer's boy Rome.
For Rome. So I mean, you dealer's choice here, but I offer you.
Oh, let's spice it, dude. If we're going this, you gotta do Rome. If you're, I think they're all fine. I think you could do DJ Moore. I think you could do Keenan. You could use the old reuse players tab. Use this slip 3 different times and just cycle around which wide receiver, and maybe I'll even do that. All right, we've got Rome in there. So now we're back up. We're actually above the.
There we go.
We're on pace. We're on pace to get
like right on the money there.
Let's see what Jackson Smith and Jigba's multiplier is. I'm big on him in the BR streets this week.
Pretty nice.
1.51x for the 15th highest scoring wide receiver in half-point PPR this season.
I mean, that's good, right? If you like JSN this week, 1.5 is very good. I think for guys that you're bullish on, I think 1.2, 1.3 is generally like in line with a bullish sentiment. 1.5 is one that you should be taking.
I agree. I mean, the crazy thing about JSN is they've actually like made a concerted effort to use him in the red zone, which is not something I ever thought we would do for JSN. He has got in his most recent 6 games, he's got 4 tuds. So we are woke to the JSN experience.
They're going to be passing against the Vikings too. Great defense, of course,
defense.
But they're going to beat the Seahawks, so they're gonna need to pass. So this is good for the JSN pick.
All right, what do you got now? I'm just gonna look at these San Francisco numbers. I just wonder, they probably won't have any run. They probably don't have Patrick Taylor Jr. posted.
No, Jacob Cowing though, but
Jacob, no. Yeah. All right, who do you want to look at next?
Let's look at this Falcons game. I like. So we already got this thing pretty spicy, but dude, Michael Penix is going off. Or Bijan rush receiving I like, but Michael Penix, dude, is absolutely going to light the world on fire at home against these shitty Giants.
D London, baby. I'd much rather do London than Bijan.
Let's do London, man, because and one of my favorites is in goal line stands doing Darnell Mooney. Penix, dude, is just good. I don't know if you familiar. There's like this cool thing. Jalen Polk. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was drafted 37th overall because Michael Penix made him who he was. So if he can do that with a Jalen Polk, I think we can expect some good things for Drake London.
We've got some correlation here as well because we've got Roma Dunze in here. So we've got the UW.
Yeah.
I wonder what is Jalen McMillan. Let's see, what do we got? Jalen McMillan, 35.5 receiving yards. So let's keep that one. Let's keep that one
that's
in
a good
our
one.
back pocket. All right, that is 6. I mean, can I sell you on either A-Chain or Juwan Jennings or Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown? I sneakily like this game for fantasy.
Yeah, like it should be good, right? But everything in recent memory tells us that it won't be.
That it's going to be so here's my thesis. I usually think the 49ers might score a level of points they scored against the Bears because they're not going to want to run at all.
Yeah.
Patrick Taylor Jr. is not going to get the rock, I don't think. I think he's going to get the rock 13 times.
There's a certain point where like Garendo, for those who knew about him in the draft, knew that he was like a real running back, right?
Yeah.
He was a good player. They're at the point now where they're out of running backs. Like these guys that are left are like pass pro, and you carry the ball, on like third, like second and short or some shit like that. I'm with you. I think they're gonna pass. I do worry because I think that Miami has a good defense, but they're gonna have to pass. I would also like it on record, by the way. I was bold enough to say A-Chan rushing yards lower last week.
It's true. You were.
He
looks. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's he put on weight. I don't know if it's the offensive line. But this man, it just looks. It's like every rushing attempt for the whole team. Mostert, right, end around for Malik Washington. The runs are just like DOA. The runs are just.
I think it's all correlated. Like whenever they're just like not doing well as a team, just it all affects. They're all connected.
All right, let's do a weird one then. Let's toss a weird one here in the Octopus. 1.5 passing touchdowns for Purdy. I think this is the red zone stuff is going to all flow passing game for the 49ers this week.
I'm with it. Like you said, like we think they're going to be chucking. I have respect for Purdy as a passer.
Same.
They might both go to Juwan Jennings, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, they probably both are gonna go to Juwan Jennings.
He's the best receiver on the team right now. It's not even close.
I've been calling him Randy Moss in Peter's Discord, and people are offended.
I'm sure they love it. I'm sure they're taking very kindly to that.
Yeah, they love it. All right, Nez,
right.
buddy, we need one more.
Okay, and the Octopus famously full of hires. So let's go to the Bills game here, and I like James Cook, man. James Cook
scores every week,
and positive game scripts is just like a giga smash for me. I have like 30% James Cook in BRs right now. The dude is good at football, and in positive game scripts, he does it in a number of ways. This is one that I love.
All right, there we go, folks. The Octopus is touchdowns from Jahmyr Gibbs, James Conner, Chase Brown, Roma Dunze, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Drake London, James Cook, and then a weird one. We are tossing in Brock Purdy, 1.5 passing touchdowns. Who's your candidate for this? Looks like a lock. We're winning. They all hit in the morning games. Who ruins this one? Who screws this one?
Let's say James Cook, man. I'm gonna go. I can't just do obviously like the highest multiplier, the least likely. James Cook.
Dude, it's definitely James Cook, and it's James Cook in a game the Bills score 4 rushing touchdowns. Ray Davis gets one, Ty Johnson gets one, Khalil Shakir gets one, and Josh Allen runs one in. And I'm actually going to do what I just said. I'm going to use the fancy reuse button tab.
Insane technology that we have.
And then I'm going to put DJ Moore in. Gonna sub him out. And I locked it in there. So we subbed out Rome for DJ Moore.
I'm a little lazy. Can you put that in the private chat for me so I can?
Yes. I will put that in the YouTube chat.
Okay, cool.
Put that in the private chat, and you know what? I will also include it in the YouTube description. Do you guys over at the Badge Brothers? Do you guys do chapters for your videos? Nez?
Yeah. John does a great job of adding those timestamps to the video. They're super helpful, man.
I realized I basically am too lazy to ever go back and watch a stream that I ever did.
Yeah,
I'll never do that. So I only do it live. I just if it's I'm doing it as I'm actually doing a video.
You actually are like going into the back end and like adding it in right as you do it.
Like if you go click on this video right now on youtube.com and you click on my stream, you'll see the timestamps of REEBS being on and you on these. I just do it in real time because I will never in my life go. I tried to do it once for one of the best ball streams this summer. Ooh. And I was just like, you know what? Nope. No chance. No chance. I'm just not going to listen to myself talk about fantasy football.
Oh, I mean, that's two tags. Yeah, that's so much time out of the life, man. No, you got to work smarter. And Correct.
You are. All right. Now let's do what everyone wants, man.
All right.
No Michael Pittman Jr. He's actually been removed from my menu. It's time. We got to do the Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm. This is what everybody's tuned in for, man. This is like the most viewers that we've ever had because people can't wait.
They can't
for
wait.
The Hateful Eight. I've got notes. I've got a whole selection of options for us for this Hateful Eight this week.
Okay, we can even do 2 because one of my favorite picks is on Saturday, so we could do double Hateful Eights if need be. There's more. Let me tell you, Nez, my mind has been so awoken by lowers. It's like my menu on Underdog doubled recently. And I was like, wait, you can actually say guys won't record statistics. And then in particular, lowers on touchdowns. It's because it's insane how many times in my life I've been like, well, obviously that guy's going to score and that guy's going to score and then they just easily don't score. They just don't even come close to recording a touchdown. I'm like, there's got to be some way to profit off that. And I've found it and it's beautiful.
Yeah, for me, my like lower secrets have been like on specific players, and one of them was Alvin Kamara hitting his lowers in the right spots. Has just been like the easiest. There's just no sweat involved with his lowers, but now he's gone, for the season. So
well, we might be able to run that. Spoiler alert: we might be able to run that back with the New Orleans Saints this week at 0.77x multiplier.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yes, it's like realizing a car can go both in forward and reverse. Yeah. It's really incredible. All right, man. You go first.
All right, you want the slam? You want a slam dunk? Just right off the rip. David Moore.
Oh my God.
They actually
allow this.
Oh, they took. Oh, you.
Oh, they took it away.
Okay, you know what? You thought I'd be stumped. Jalen Coker. Come on.
I was gonna say it's not as if there's a big discrepancy. And I just want on the record, I'd actually be fine if Coker scored because I think I'm gonna play him a lot in salary cap DFS. But he's not going to.
Come on, man.
Carolina Panthers lower touchdowns. I mean, just think about that sentence. Underdog Fantasy lets you log on and be like, that Panther's not going to score. That Panther's not going to. And it's unbelievable, man.
And they'll pay you out for it. It's incredible.
I wonder if they have Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison. I wonder what the individual numbers
Madison
are.
is on my hate list.
Oh my.
And that's
0.82x for Madison not to score. Okay, we are gonna have to do two of these because they're just the menu is too bountiful. Okay, I'm gonna do Madison for mine. Nez, who do you want next?
Are we sticking to the main slate here?
Do whatever you want.
I will. I want to go Kyler for rushing touchdowns.
Kyler, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
probably not going to have to run. Going to be very little scrambling.
My man doesn't like running. It's not really what he likes to do, and I don't think he's going to have to here either. Like you said,
there was a good bit this week. Someone told me to look this up of Kyler talking about playing in the. Liam did. He was like, you gotta go look at this clip of Kyler talking about playing in the cold, and he's like, the cold's no big deal. And then he paused a second and was like, how cold is it? And they're like, it's gonna be about 25 degrees. And he's like, shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, look, dude, he played college football in the Midwest. Theoretically he should be fine, but we'll see. We'll see. I do like that one.
Living in Arizona, playing at the Dome. Yeah,
we'll stick in the Midwest for this one. I'll do an easy one. I will take Breece Hall at a 0.92x multiplier.
He's on my list as well.
A touchdown. Yeah.
That was a good one. I liked his scrimmage yards as well for a lower, but yeah, that was a good hit.
Oh yeah, you could do either of those. I mean, I don't know if Braylon Allen is playing or not. That would change my feelings about it a little bit, but not really.
Yeah, it's just like Rodgers is just like not using him as much, because he's got Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. But is Garrett Wilson
and Isaiah Davis? Isaiah Davis is playing all the third downs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really not what people were hoping for. Not me though. I was taking Bijan, but yeah, very, very strange season for him. Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, dude. I literally just clicked on that tab because I was like, these Browns numbers have got to be terrible. 0.71x. They're just letting us go.
REEBS was hitting all the spots that I was trying to get to in the Hateful Eight, and yeah, the DT we deserve so much better as a football viewing public than and no offense to the young man, but when you have Jameis Winston, it's such a crime to give us DTR instead of Jameis Winston, man. It's actually hurtful.
You know what they took away? No more betting against a guy who gets 1.5 targets a game to not score a touchdown. I mean, that week of being able to fade Nick Westbrook-Ikine touchdowns. I mean, that was really some unbelievable stuff. I wonder what we can get on Saints players not to score a touchdown here. Kendre Miller 0.77x.
I kind of
that's
like
it. You don't like it?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I'm a pack respector.
A pack. Are you a Jordan Love QB6 drafter in the gauntlet?
I mean, Davis, I don't want to give away the secrets, but like, why are the Packers not like just
Up
absolutely
there with the Ravens
being slobbered over right now? NFC is, I mean, the Lions are like probably the worst team to be drafting right now on the board, next to any Bills team that doesn't have Josh Allen. But you need to be giving the Packers. I don't even want to say it, man. I don't want to say it because they're just so easy to pair with any AFC team. They're incredible.
I agree. Can we get New York Giants players not to score touchdowns?
Oh, buddy. Yes, you can.
Tyrone Tracy, they don't even give him carries from the 1 yard line.
Yeah. Put that in there. It's true.
Tyrone Tracy, not to score a touchdown. Unreal.
Yeah.
All right, close us out, and we can do another one because I want to include 2 from Saturday.
Let's see what I have left here. Oh, here's one. Tim Patrick.
Oh my goodness gracious, man.
Yes, it's still there. Let's go.
All right. You might be saying in your head, you guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. A 0.752x multiplier. You tell me how idiotic we are on Sunday night. Or I guess Monday night, because we included a Saint. You come in here and you tell us how idiotic we are. That will be Hateful 8 number 1.
Oh man.
And sadly, I have a player from each of our teams, Nez, that is not going to be scoring a touchdown on Saturday.
I don't expect a single touchdown to be scored by my Pittsburgh Steelers, so it's totally fine.
All right, then we're gonna be on the same. I'll tell you the number 1 worst line available on Underdog Fantasy. Kareem Hunt should have worse odds to score a touchdown than David Moore.
Yeah,
I mean 1.85. He's not gonna get a snap inside the 20-yard line. It'll be Pacheco first, and then P. Ryan plays the passing down stuff. Kareem Hunt's not scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, thank God for that revenge game last week against Cleveland, all those Fugazi carries that he was getting, and now he's actually, he's facing Houston, and Houston's so tough. Even if he was the RB1, I would take a lower. And
I'm sad to do it.
Don't be sad.
Najee Harris is also not scoring a touchdown.
No. George Pickens is the engine of that offense. Even if he's not moving the ball, he helps them move the ball. Obviously, we all understand football and its intricacies.
What is Tank Dell's? Can we do Tank Dell lower receiving yards?
I mean, I'm more than open to it. Dude, your tweet about Dell and Diggs. Oh my God, man.
More half-point PPR points than him right now, Stephon Diggs. How about that, man?
I guess, I can always, pat myself on the back for absolutely just nailing that one, and not giving in to the Dell stuff from last year.
Actually, let's do a different Chiefs one. Oh, never mind. I thought maybe we would get offered Hollywood Brown at a really low rate, but no. I'm not going to include that because I don't want my Saturday to be ruined if he gets a garbage 17-yard reception or whatever. But all right, let's work in some more lowers. I think another good one is Jaden Daniels not to score a rushing or receiving touchdown. The Eagles defense, man, they're just going to hold the ball for like 19 minutes in this game. It's going to be.
Yeah. How insane was that second half of Eagles Steelers? There was 5 drives in the entire second half. There was 5 drives. What the fuck?
Total.
That's crazy. In the third and fourth quarter. No, I like the Jaden Daniels lowers. However, you can slice them.
Yeah, and I kind of like him for BR this week just because I think he's not going to get. Like, I've seen him go undrafted a good bit. I bet when ADP updates tonight, he's going to go behind Goff, which is just always sort of because Goff is playing outdoors. But
yeah, he could run a little bit. But yeah, Eagles are just so good.
How about Aaron Rodgers lower passing yards? He's now inflated. He's now inflated to 243.5. You not on board with this one?
I'm a little scared of it. I'm a little scared of it. I feel like this game could be a little bit of a shootout. I think Rams are going to be putting up points, and I think it could be like garbage time, with the Jets, because the Jets are going to be playing from behind in my estimation. Rams trying to secure a playoff spot. The Jets stink, and Rodgers building that connection with Devontae. I mean, it's been there, but now it's actually resulting in the fantasy points. I'm a little afraid.
Let's do Braylon scrimmage yards lower or rushing yards.
Yeah.
How about rushing yards?
For Brees rushing? Yeah. Love the lower. Love it.
Okay. All right. There we go. I think that
we can agree on that.
I think that one's pretty strong.
We don't have to play one, but I want to just bring to your attention. Do you know what team Terrace Marshall plays for?
The Raiders.
Right? You can take a lower on Terrace Marshall. I mean, it's 7 yards, I think. But I mean, I just want to bring this to.
Let me.
It's 4.5. Okay.
Let me just check Terrace Marshall routes.
It's like 20%, 30%. I'm pretty sure.
Terrace Marshall, huh?
I mean, you're basically saying he doesn't catch.
He doesn't catch one. All right. Ship it. Sold.
Okay. I mean, why not?
And you know what? We also got to do this. We also have to do Dorian. We have to do Dorian Thompson Robinson lower than 197.5 passing yards.
I'm gonna just float this to the audience. You can even slide him down and take it.
Let's do that. Let's do that because that's way more. That's way funnier for him to not crest 179.5 passing yards.
And
that's
he's not
way
going
funnier.
to. And he's not going to. Like, it's not going to happen. It's a very sad situation.
Can we take Elijah Moore lower passing or lower receiving? Oh no, they don't even offer it.
No, just Judy. Just got Judy.
Well, we did the Judy no touchdown. Let's do 62.5. Dude, he is not getting 62.5 receiving yards.
No.
Jerry Judy's so bad. I benched him in a team that's in the sprint in a managed format for Xavier Worthy. That's how bad he is.
Well, if it was Xavier Worthy, that would probably have more impact on the audience. But everyone's like, "Well, of course you did, bro."
No, see, the people should know I've totally. Oh yeah.
All right, we don't believe you.
All right, we need one more. We need one more. Mason 213.5 passing yards for Mason Rudolph. That feels high.
It does, but he slings it, and the Colts people do seem to have success against the Colts. So I know.
How about Cooper Rush, lower 235.5 passing yards?
I think I can get on board with this.
That's honestly one where I'm happy to be wrong. If I lose that, it means Sunday Night Football was great.
Yeah, the Bucs are just like not a bad defense, and I think they're a really good team. I do think that they're going to beat the Cowboys.
Let's do lower Brandon Cooks receptions, lower than 2.5 receptions for Brandon Cooks. We just say this is a Jake Ferguson game or a Jalen Tolbert game.
Yeah. I like that. I'm a big Buccaneers guy right now.
That's giving away the secret sauce.
Hey. You know, I mean, what did I say?
Well, hey, what if the Buccaneers beat your boys in the in the playoffs? Right now they're slated to play the Packers if the season ended today.
Ugh, I wouldn't love that.
It would be in Tampa Bay.
Really? Oh
yeah.
Wow. I actually don't love that. I think that would just be a great game. I would take my Packers, but yeah, that would I would not love that scenario. We're also teetering like how close are we to Jamar Chase being like a 5th round gauntlet pick for these 1st round bye teams just trying to advance?
If they beat the Broncos, yeah. It's happening.
And they will.
All right, now let's do the super slider and then let's go back over to unabated to close it out. So these are our highest conviction spots of the week.
I would really like to slide Michael Penix if we can.
Sold. I mean, this is the spot to do it, man.
This is a showcase game, dude.
You want to slide? Yeah, I think yards. I think you know what they Numi / anyone at Underdog. This is what we need. We need a fantasy point slider.
Yeah,
can we get a fantasy point slider?
I'll pay an absurd premium. Like just let me do it. I don't care if I'm getting like 1.1x.
I'm getting the worst odds. I'm getting
don't give a fuck.
Known to man. Yeah. All right. Let's take Penix to 260, 259.5 passing yards.
Yeah, I love it, man. He's going off. I'm such a believer in him.
All right, let's do that. and let's slide Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
I think this one is no one wants to believe.
No.
Let's do
That's not asking that much.
I mean, how many yards did he get to on Thanksgiving in the Dome? Caleb with like 6 passing yards in the first half got to 256.
Yeah. It felt like 400.
Yeah. It weirdly did. It weirdly did feel like 400 yards.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was more than that.
All right, that is a 6.97x multiplier. I would like to do Chase Brown to 100 rushing yards.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna beat the piss out of the Browns.
They're running downhill. They don't give the ball to anybody but him. Nobody, dude.
Literally
no one.
Not hyperbole. That is objectively true.
All right. We are up to 23.8x. So if we get another spicy one, we are maxed out. AOC?
Yeah.
Bowers?
We both really like AOC. Let's check out AOC versus Bowers.
Let's see what it Bowers to 100 yards is.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
2.44.
So
if we do Bowers,
oh wow,
that gets us to like 100x basically. I also want to look at what JSN is to 100 yards. The JSN is probably my biggest.
That might even be a bigger multiplier than Bowers. 3x.
It is. I think we do that. I think JSN could have 13 receptions in this game. Truly. I think this is like he might have more targets than Kenneth Walker has rushes in this game.
Well, do you want to toy around with receptions and just see what like what's 3x for reception? Like
4.73x for 9.5 receptions.
Just some food for thought.
You know what? Let's do that instead. That's like way more fun. That's a way better sweat too. You're just like, throw him a screen.
One catch. Yeah,
throw him a screen. Throw him a screen.
I love receptions.
Okay, that is a 188x multiplier.
We call this the 2-week notice.
We do. All right. There we go, folks. That is the super slider this week. We're cooking, man. We got double hateful eights. Mm-hmm. We have a beautiful holiday weekend. Games there's not going to be 2 consecutive days without football, including college football, until like January 8th or something.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
It really is. All right, the super slider is Michael Penix Jr. higher than 259.5 passing yards. Caleb Williams higher 239.5 passing yards. Chase Brown higher than 99.5 rushing yards. And JSN scaled all the way up to 9.5 receptions. Dude, the people are shitting and puking all over themselves, imagining JSN with a 9 reception first half against the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, sorry, Johnny. There it is in chat. It's also in the YouTube description if you missed any of these. All right, let's head back over to Unabated and let's build one more. Let's start with Jesus Christ. Cardi has Josh Jacobs for 24.2 rushing attempts.
I mean, Josh Jacobs' rushing attempts is one of my favorite projections to play on Underdog. Whenever you get the positive Packers game script,
it's nuts.
Just play Josh Jacobs to touch the football. You guys, you just got to do it. You got to do it, man. He's a beast. It's why they signed him. Nobody wants to believe it. They thought they would be treating him like Aaron Jones. It's Josh Jacobs, man. He's that Toyota Corolla with 200,000 miles on it.
He sure is. I had some NCAA stuff popping up in there.
Oh,
it just populated. Of course, I could have bet my life. I would have bet the last dollar I had that Cardi would have higher passing yards for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Just like the most Cardi bet that has ever that has ever existed. Jonathan Taylor, lower rushing yards. Yeah, absolutely. That one feels easy.
Let's do it. I can't believe he likes the Najee rushing yards. I mean, maybe then again, that's
he's just projecting.
coded.
He's just projecting the grossest game of all time. He's
Which
got
wrong.
Yeah, he's got that game at like a 58% cumulative rush rate.
I like the Aaron Jones lower rushing attempts. I know that the edge isn't strong, but like my confidence interval is
like
high.
that. I like that. I mean, I just think that game is more of a passing game to me for both teams. But it's gonna make more sense for both of them to pass.
Yeah, and get closer to crunch time. I don't know that they probably want to keep Aaron Jones as fresh as possible. That's how I think about it.
Yeah. I think you're probably right. Rico Dowdle, higher receiving yards. I actually do really like that one because I think he's gonna get less work rushing this week just because they're gonna be trailing, but they're not playing any other running backs on passing downs at all.
Yeah. I like this Calvin Austin too.
Calvin Austin, lower receiving yards. Yeah, that one feels.
Yeah, he has like that big playability. You need Pickens. You need Pickens on the field, man. Calvin Austin, wide receiver 1, is just not going to do it for anybody.
Yeah. All right. I'm adding these over in the UD one because I want to build an 8-legger.
Oh yeah.
We've got Josh Jacobs rushing attempts, Taylor rushing yards, Jones lower rushing attempts, Rico Dowdle receiving yards, and Calvin Austin. I mean, that is a criminal number. 38.5 receiving yards, bro. Come on.
No, not Calvin Austin, man. Not Calvin Austin the third.
Not Calvin Austin the third. This goes along. Geno higher passing yards. I mean that goes along with our script for that game. And this is like a total must-win spot for the Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be chucking it, man. I think this is probably not gonna look too good in the third quarter. We might see Geno with like 130 passing yards.
I was gonna say 134 or something like that.
Yeah, and then garbage time he lets loose.
What else is interesting? Brenton Strange, higher receiving yards. I think we're both on board there.
Yeah, that fits the bill for us. That's so nice.
It is. That's very low.
Yeah.
Tim Patrick, lower receiving yards. What is going on, man? Tim Patrick?
What do they have? 33?
Yeah, that feels crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do. Of course, he would have lower for Jahmyr Gibbs. I like that. I like lower receiving yards for Khalil Shakir. Some of the stuff he gets is rushes, but dude, what do you not need in a game that you're favored by 14.5? Your safety valve. You don't need your safety valve at all.
No, what we can also kind of bank on is maybe a DST tutty as well in this game. It should be sloppy. Bill, I'm with you on like anti-Bills passing in this game script. I think it's a smart way to play these pick'ems.
Yeah. So that is the final unabated DFS Pick Em Entry. Good menu this week. A lot of it was very easy to pick out lowers this week. Not a lot of great football being played. It's just because there are so many bad teams and there are so many bad teams playing teams that are set to steamroll them this week effectively. You want to do a mitten and then get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm loving these, and we got to get the volume in. So,
dude, it's almost full, man. You want it's 65%. It was 53% yesterday.
This is going to be a big mitten weekend for sure. For sure, you're going to see these fill up quite quickly. How have your exposures been going along? It seems like you're not as bullish on the Green Bay Pack as I am.
No, I'm more bullish on the Vikings. I am more bullish on the they're other than Jefferson, they're all cheaper. Jones is cheaper than Jacobs. I guess Addison is expensive now.
Sort of, yeah, but like he's good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bail myself out of the Lions hole that I've dug myself into, man. I
am fully off Detroit. at this point. I love them as a team. I love everything they stand for. I've lost so much confidence in their ability to make.
Are you not taking Goff Gibbs at the turn?
It's tempting. It's tempting, but I would prefer to not. And one thing that I think is interesting too, I think people have caught on to the importance of quarterback.
Oh yeah,
in these.
The first round is all quarterbacks now.
People have really kind of figured that out. Like that is that's really what you need. Lamar right now is much more like ADP 3, ADP 2 right now. It's very apparent.
I don't know if I can take this Ionvaki. I'd need like 12x, I think, to take a Ionvaki touchdown on Underdog, I think.
Oh man. You're gonna have to at some point, man. You're gonna have to.
We'll see what happens in this game, right?
Okay.
We'll see what Craig Reynolds' role is. Are you Hurts, Allen? What do you like doing it to? I'm Hurts.
Yeah. Let's do Hurts. I'm Lamar. Let's do Hurts though.
I actually have way less Ravens because the sidekick has Hurts too, and so does ETR has them at 2. And I just am following my corporate overlords.
So like, yeah, and I get it, man. I their odds aren't that great. Yada yada. Third best team at the AFC. I'm just trying to build really good teams. I'm trying to build the best team that I can. That if this is the Super Bowl, I'm coming in there and I'm not trying to like min cash. I am live for first. And right now, doing that with the Ravens is like one of the best ways to do that. And I think part of what makes this so powerful is how cheap Rashad Bateman is and how like he's like sneaky their best receiver. I know they just spotted him in a walking boot. Don't love that. But just like saying like, you know what, let some other donk take Zay Flowers naked if they want to with their NFC stack, go ahead. Because I'm going to be building a really strong NFC pairing. And then like I'm making sure Rashad Bateman is mine because Rashad Bateman right now is like he's basically J-Mo in a Ravens uniform right now. But we need him to be healthy. But I feel confident he's gonna be fine.
Fair enough.
Strong words.
Look, I think what's interesting about that is that basically all the pencil pushing nerds think Lamar is a bad pick because the Steelers and the Ravens have similar conference championship equity. But I think the vibes.
Oh, that would have been so sick.
Yeah, it would have been. Are you Jefferson or Devontae? I mean, I think it's definitely Devonta, but what do you think?
I was going to suggest Jefferson because we need Aaron Jones. If we take Devontae, then we're like,
I'm fine. I'm fine playing this Vikings instead of Eagles.
Yeah, I think we do Vikings because then we're doing like Gainwell and Justice Hill, and the Mitten has more finalists than the Gauntlet does. So you're just not winning first, man. There are Lamar, Saquon.
All right, hear me out. This is I am basically approaching this the exact same way or the exact opposite way as you.
Okay.
What happens in the final is none of my business. What occurs there is none of my business. My only job is getting 5 live players there, and I basically don't care what happens once those 5 live players have arrived at their destination. Like my job, I'm an Uber driver. My job is to get you to your Airbnb on vacation. I don't care what you do in there. That's between you and God. So I don't care.
Davis, are you gonna be happy if you win like $500 in the Mitten?
Honestly, probably.
I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to shame any.
That's stimmy, Nez. That's stimmy. That $750 stimmy to max the big board is gonna hit like fucking crack, dude.
Now you just got Aaron Jones. All
right, hear me out.
You think we can get away with it?
What if we took Josh Jacobs and did Packers and Vikings and left the optionality?
Love
I
it.
don't care.
Now that's smart. That's smart because you get Packers. You can do some Packers too.
And
Packers
we
are super
have
cheap.
and we have Jefferson, so that has signaled to everyone else. Basically, it's Copper Bane we have to worry about, where he might decide to take Addison, Aaron Jones. But if he
This guy's
doesn't,
nuts. I think he's auto drafting.
that is important to remember. He probably is auto drafting.
But I don't know if that's probably fine for us because Packers are kind of buried, and Addison, like he might take Zay Flowers from us. But like I said, like I think you play like who gives a shit.
Yes. That probably slightly increases our chance of getting Aaron Jones. Oh no, we're not going to get him.
Well, yeah, we need these people to stay away.
No, we're not going to get him because he's going to get auto drafted before he gets back to us.
You think so?
Yeah. Look where he's at in the queue.
Oh, there's no one. We need to be able to stay away from Shakir. Be smart, guys. If you don't have Josh Allen and you're taking Shakir, you're
the Josh Allen guy is behind us.
You are sitting in the cuck chair if you take Shakir without Josh Allen.
No, I think the Jalen Hurts team can talk themselves into Shakir quite often.
Well, this guy's building Chiefs, so he's about to take. I think we're going to be safe. We're going to be sheltered.
We might be, but the thing is, when you do the Hurts AJ Brown, you can do both. That's the thing is you could do both.
No,
that right there,
him.
That was really bad. That was really brutal.
Come on, Copper Bane, open your app, dude. You're getting push notifications. You're on the clock in the mitten, bro. Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. Now we can just
now we're playing this like Justice Hill is the running back you need in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you still
which sounds insane, but it's not. It's really not.
It's not.
And now we take Mark Andrews.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go Andrews here, and you can still do some Packers, right? Because we're gonna take Justice Hill.
No, you take
one more Packer, and we have that Super Bowl that you're talking about. You're getting A to B, man. You're getting A to B.
Yeah. Yeah, you take Justice Hill on this team, and you basically just say in the Vikings Ravens Super Bowl, the Vikings get a lead, and the Baltimore footballing Ravens throw the ball to Justice Hill 4 times, and he scores 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and we can even do a Tucker Kraft in the 9th round as well.
Now we do Addison.
Yep.
And then we backdoor our Andrews team with Likely or Bateman.
What I love about this too, man, and I'm going to be honest, I love seeing gold first places next to my teams. This team is like minus 500 to advance, like off the rip. This team is so locked.
Yeah, we don't have to fade the Chiefs Lions bye thing.
Yeah, that's what makes it a lot of fun too. Is like you get to post after the wild card round. Look at all these teams I'm advancing, and
I just made $3 so many times.
But like you're also super live. It's great.
Yeah, I don't have very many teams constructed this way. I'll tell you the team I have most often. It's this idiot team right here. It's the parlay. It's the 10-leg parlay Gibbs Mahomes start. I do that a lot. I was going to say combinatorially, that's probably my most.
And then you got to stop at 5, right? You got to get your 5. Yeah, literally. And then after that, it's like I've been doing a lot of like Jaden Daniels when I'm doing that. I do Bucky Irving. Of course, when it's there, but now everybody takes these guys.
Now everyone takes them. Yeah. There's no way anyone could have predicted that I would be the last Mahomes slappy left on earth.
Mahomes is still a great pick. Now.
He's actually a terrible pick. Herzig made this point to me yesterday. They might be the Super Bowl team. They might even be the Super Bowl champion and have never hit your lineup. You carry 5 Chiefs there and they never hit your lineup because they don't score any fucking fantasy points.
Sounds like a challenge. I mean, that's just a fun challenge, man. I mean, that's even all the more reason to build better. Because like the reason I say that is because like cheapest the Bucks will be is today. As soon as you're in a draft, that's the cheapest the Bucks will ever be. The cheapest the Commanders will be is today. And they have Jaden Daniels, who is like a fantasy point monster. So you can like get these like sick ancillary teams to help you advance with your Chiefs, like now is the time.
Yeah.
That's
Does
why.
anyone else have a Raven? Who has Zay Flowers?
Dude to the right,
Oh,
slippery.
this dude on our right will take Justice Hill if we don't.
What's he building right now? I see he's got Kincaid, Worthy, Gaunt.
He's got three Lions. He's got a Bill, a Chief, and a Raven. So he's doing the Lions play anyone good.
I'm okay with taking our Justice Hill medicine here.
Yeah, you got it. Because if we don't here, he's gonna get snapped up on us on the way back.
Our team is so good right now to advance. Like we don't need like sick fantasy scoring players. Like we have to be thinking Super Bowl from this point forward.
I love your optimism. We draft so differently. I basically assume I'm dead. I'm assuming I get no. I'm assuming I get no points from any of these players. Like we really are we approach such a different mentality.
We need to shift your. You're inviting the bad. Come on, man. You never watched The Secret. You don't subscribe to manifesting. Come on, man.
No, I do, and you're right. I should be.
You're inviting all these bad vibes.
Yes. Peppertoni, the classic draft mantra of draft like you're wrong. That literally, quite literally, that is quite, and in fact, it is bleeding into playing poor strategy, like drafting second quarterbacks when it's not necessary and things like that. Like taking, like, oh, dude, you got to take Sam Darnold with Josh Allen in case they get the bye, like shit like that. Like just actively sabotaging my teams because I'm drafting like I'm wrong.
You're right. And we're right. And this team is getting through. This team has
this guy had to take Najee instead of Justice Hill because we hoisted him with his own petard.
I mean, the Steelers right now are probably the Steelers. If you're drafting Chiefs, the Steelers make some sense to help you get through because they suck. But we know where their points are going. It's Pickens.
I've got so
Najee,
much Russell
Russ.
Wilson, Najee.
Yeah. We know how they're gonna, if they're gonna score any fantasy points. We know how it's happening.
All right, we have got Dobbs, Kraft, Wicks.
Who's talking? Okay. Oh, this guy is snapping. Jaden Daniels.
He snapped Jaden. He maybe pushed the plane. All right. Well, we do need at least one. We're really screwed without a Packer here.
Yeah. Let's get our Packers Ravens Super Bowl on lock. There we go.
Now, so we have Packers Ravens Super Bowl is unlocked. We got the numbers there. The question I would have for you is, because we're light at running back with Justice Hill, do you want to add a third NFC team? Do you ever do this where you have a?
If it makes sense.
It makes less sense now. These drafts are different now. You used to be able to get Bucky Irving with this pick, and it would be like, wow, if the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl, I'm rich.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could have toyed with the like. I think running back wise, we are good because Josh Jacobs is such a man about this, and Justice Hill also can kind of pop every now and then. That
Justice Hill not a zero.
Yeah, so I think I'd be cool with it.
Yes, yeah, I'll do FFPC and FFC playoff stuff. Now, do you want to take our Packer now?
I want to take Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft.
I love Tucker Kraft, and especially because the Packers spread the ball around so much. Like, you basically want access to as many Packers as possible in that Packers Super Bowl. You just never know where the ball is going. But I can't believe Tucker Kraft is a 9th round pick, dude. He just scores touchdown. He does flips. He's just the man. And I can't believe nobody wants the tight end one for the Jordan Love Packers. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just
Tucker Kraft. How many more fantasy points does Tucker Kraft have than freaking Kelsey? He's gonna have a lot more.
Like, Christian Watson should not be going over Tucker Kraft. I'm sorry. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
No, he shouldn't. Man.
And everyone cares that Tucker Kraft doesn't have a good ADOT. Guess what, man? He's a truck. You just give him the ball as fast as possible and let him do his thing.
It'd be I just think something that would be really poetic, Nez, would be, I have the nuts and I draft the absolute nuts playoff team, but it's in the way too early playoff wild card, and I win 10K, and if it was in the mitten, it was a 50K team.
You deserve it, because you might be I don't know how many people max the way too early wild card. I bet you could count on one hand.
Non auto drafted, I might literally have been the only me and Eagles. might literally non auto drafted. It might literally be me and Eagles, man.
Elite company.
Yeah. Yeah. This like 10 days ago, elite Bucky Irving pick here.
Yeah. Not happening now. It's a shame.
All right. Are we thinking Raven? Are we thinking random AFC team? What are you thinking?
I would probably say Hawkinson.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that
Bang.
This is the nuts for a Ravens
this is the nutted
sick team.
I guess the true nutted Ravens Vikings team would include Aaron Jones and Zay Flowers, but which by the way we would have been drawing live to the second nuts without the auto drafter.
Yeah. But we have this is such a fire team. Like, congrats on your $3 min cash. And if we can get if one of these two teams can somehow knock off the Eagles and the Ravens somehow make their way to the Super Bowl, like you're at worst splitting first. This is a smash.
Yeah. All right, man. Tell the people about On and Off the Clock today. Send them where they need to go, and we'll log out.
Yeah, Off and On the Clock with Pete Overzet and John Warner. We do that on the Bad Bros channel and also streamed on Pete's channel. Check that out. We do that every Friday. That'll be in about an hour and 20 minutes, covering Underdog stuff, Underdog drafts. We do Pick Ems. It's a great time. If you're not subbed to Badge Bros, go ahead and sub up. I do Friday night members only streams. They're a lot of fun. I draft goal line stands and kind of just like do a variety show, riff about music I'm listening to, shows I'm watching, chatting with the chat. It's a good time, man. Yeah. So Davis, thanks for having me on, man. I always appreciate it. It's always fun to get to build some shippers with you.
All right. I actually just did the redirect. So the second that this video ends, you're going to be sent over to On and Off the Clock. So you guys should go and check that out. Please subscribe to the Badge Brothers. The next time you will see me will be in 3 hours. I will be back with Pat Corain and Neil Orfield for week 16 salary cap DFS. And the DFS article will be up on the Patreon sometime in the next 4 hours as well. Folks, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you, this definitely does have to be a person that exists. Someone who watches all these and does not have an Underdog account. Use promo code Davis when you sign up. That would be really fantastic. So I hope that you guys do that. Have a great Friday. I'll see you guys all back in a couple hours. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short